6-year-old Michael W. Duffey is the animal cruelty investigator for the Humane Society of Southern Arizona. Duffey is also a founder of the Animal Cruelty Task Force, which is Arizona's first and largest animal protection coalition.
Growing up, I grew up around animals. My grandparents had farms, my uncles and aunts had farms, and everybody had animals, and I've been around animals, all kinds of animals, my whole life.
Before Duffey joined the Humane Society, he served 34 years for the Pima County Sheriff's Department. During that time, he had a variety of duties: 25 years as a tactical officer, 6 years as a vehicular homicide investigator, and 8 years as the hostage negotiator.
Well, I had a conversation with my supervisor at the time, and the decision was made that I would handle all the animal crimes cases. And as I began doing the animal crimes cases, I realized that somebody needed a voice for the animals. Animals can't talk to me, I can't talk to the animals.
Right.
I'd like that very much if I could, but I can't. But somebody had to step up on their behalf.
In 1999, Duffey became the first dedicated animal cruelty detective in Pima County.
In 1999, I already had a significant number of years on with the Sheriff's Department. So all the other detectives were bringing me their cases that involved animals, because a lot of the detectives didn't know anything about animals or their equipment, like saddles and bridles and things like that. So I was handling all the theft cases from barns and tack rooms and the thefts of animals and that kind of thing. Well, I figured it was time that somebody did all of those cases and worked them up to the degree that somebody could be prosecuted for that and not allow them to get away with that any longer.
As Duffey begins his day in the office, he goes through several email and telephone messages. After a case has been identified and researched, they are listed on a whiteboard to organize different cases. Most may think dealing with animal cruelty every day may be a tough job, but Duffey says it has both positives and negatives.
You get a hard shell about the third time you've been to a fatal car wreck and there's been a child killed. You still feel something and you're empathetic to the tragedy that that wreck has created, but you try really hard not to let it get to you. Well, I had the same events happening with me with animals, because I feel compassion for every animal that I come across. I make an effort to give every animal a name so that they're all not an unknown animal to me. They've all got a name, and I keep track of all the names in my head and all of my documentation, so they are real to me. And I feel sad when one of them passes on. But the upside is that I feel a tremendous amount of joy when we get an animal in that we call a train wreck. I mean, it's just a mess when we get it. Several weeks, several months later, he's a happy-go-lucky fellow, and he's completely adoptable, and he's going to go on to have a great life.
For the majority of his time, Duffey brings his expertise to law enforcement trainings, field investigations, and community events.
At this point in this animal cruelty investigation career that I've created for myself, there's just as much happiness as there is pathos. And we just visited an animal down here that when it came to us, its neck was severely cut by being mistreated by its owner, just from a lack of knowledge perhaps. But it was a miserable, cowering, frightening, aggressive animal when it first came here. And now it came to me today and wanted me to play with it with its toy while it's in its confinement area down at the clinic. And that makes you feel good when they'll come to you and you pet them.
In the future, Duffey plans to continue educating others. He says his life goal is to help get the word out worldwide about the importance of prosecutions for animal cruelty.
It needs to be done until everyone in America understands that it is our job as humans to be the docent for the animals. That means that we have to take care of their medical needs, we have to take care of their nutritional needs, and we have to invite them into our lives.